and welcome to Topical Tuesday. I'm Tshering Wangmo, and in this edition you can listen to the importance of celebrating World Accreditation Day around the world. So stay tuned. World Accreditation Day is being celebrated on 9th of June every year around the world. It is a global initiative jointly established by the International Accreditation Forum or IAF and the International Laboratory Accreditation Corporation or ILAC to create awareness and the importance of accreditation. This year's theme focuses on a global tool to support public policy. In the Keynote Address, the Secretary of Ministry of Works and Human Settlements, Tshering Wangmo, said how accreditation can be a global tool to support public policy for all areas in the public sector.
The accreditation for this year's theme, a global tool to support public policy, has been a truth all the way through, but it has been made into a theme of this year, and it is very appropriate given the trend that we are experiencing, especially in the way we do things today. We have no time and place to play complacencies anymore in doing things today, where we have a lot of things happening together while we live in a global village, where economy depends heavily on multilateral trading regime system, where resources are getting even more scarce, where people's demand grows exponentially, and so when we face more so the challenges of climate change and its ill effects on our fragile environment, optimization and ensuring value for money and time are becoming the order of the day. We are all for sustainable development, renewable energies, and healthy environment to assure quality of life. To realize all these renewed elements of development for a happy community and society, we need tools and systems to set ourselves forth to right directions. Given the situation when natural resources are getting depleted at the rate that is unprecedented and even not dreamt of previously, we cannot anymore accept exploitation of our Mother Nature's limited resources and people's limited capacity to pay for counterfeit products and services. We need standards and for products and services. And not only that, we need a very aggressive conformity assessment measures to ensure that the value for money is guaranteed. The health of the economy and of the individuals are also protected, and that the communities get what is legitimately due to them as a matter of fundamental rights. In order to ensure that standards of products and services are delivered without compromises in quality, a system for exercising due diligence is a necessity and, in fact, a very critical requirement. This is provided for by accreditation system, which is established in every developed and emerging economies of the world. Accreditation is a system that determines technical competence, that determines the integrity of organizations offering conformity assessment services such as testing, certification, inspection, calibration, and all other conformity-based systems based on international standards. So accreditation enhances acceptance of products and services across borders, thereby supporting the trade regulations and brings in confidence in the marketplace. In other words, accreditation is an alternative risk-based regulation, such as for assessment, approvals, validation, and evaluation processes. Therefore, accreditation is by and large the certification of certifiers. The certifiers are conformity assessment bodies, such as inspectors, testing entities, laboratories, calibration units, auditors, usually the market-based third-party entities. So accreditation therefore assures government and private the trust and confidence in the way things we do, in the way the quality of our life is assured.
During the World Accreditation Day 2015, a National Accreditation Focal Point or NAFB has been established in the Bhutan Standards Bureau as a first step towards attaining the status of the country's national accreditation body. As the country's NAFB, Bhutan Standards Bureau is committed to providing accreditation services to applicants using the services of internationally recognized partners. The Bhutan Standards Bureau can now certify local products for the international market. For now, the Bureau has been accredited to certify only 3 products manufactured in the country. They are TMT reinforcement bars, bitumen emulsion, and cement. These 3 products will now be recognized worldwide. The National Accreditation Board of Certification Bodies of India has licensed the Bureau with accreditation for product certification earlier in March this year. Well, I talked to the Director General of Bhutan Standards Bureau, Sonafunso, for more details. So why there's a need to celebrate such a day? Why it is so important?
I believe because this is particularly we are talking about 3 pillars of quality infrastructure. And I mentioned standard, I mentioned about metrology, I mentioned of accreditation. 3 things, 3 pillars. And at the moment, people are not aware of the 3 pillars of quality infrastructure. And it is for this reason that the international bodies like the IAF and ALAC, they have made a concerted effort to mark these days as World Standard Day, World Accreditation Day, World Metrology Day, essentially to develop awareness in the people in various parts of the world. And it is for this reason I think it is important that we celebrate this and also take the message to practice and to do things as per the messages conveyed through these special occasions.
Lastly, coming on to the theme today, the global tool to support public policy. So how is it going to support the public policies? If you could give us the in-depth look.
Well, there are many ways, but I think I will basically specify 4 clear ways the public sector can benefit from accreditation and other conformity assessment tools. Firstly, I think government can help improve the performance of business by encouraging the use of conformity assessment, by minimizing risk and promoting trade. So that's the first one. The second is government can help deliver and enforce its policies much more effectively. Third, the conformity assessment and accreditation also helps regulators to regulate effectively. And the fourth area is government can improve their performance by using the conformity assessment in their own respective agencies and departments. So these are the 4 ways.
So how does this tool function?
Actually, the simple is that at the moment, if we talk about construction sector, construction requires a lot of materials, but primary material is sand, cement, steel. So if you need to test this, the strength of this, you have to go to a laboratory to do the testing. So laboratories will test and give you the result. So the only thing that what we require to do is they will have to show it to another body that they have firstly the resources, technical expertise and other expertise within their own agency to deliver that. And for that, they will be subjected to a requirement, a list of requirements. If they fulfill, they get accredited. And once they are accredited, there's no question on what integrity of their certification, because they will be required to be audited annually by the respective agencies. So essentially, it is one layer of certification over other certification. So therefore, auditors get audited by another auditor. So it's basically the same logic.
So coming back to BSP, so how is BSP going to support public policies when it comes to this tool, accreditation?
At the moment, we do not have the competence to be national accreditation body, although the Act requires us to fulfill that mandate. But I think to begin with, we call ourselves as the national focal point for accreditation. So what that means, that we work with another higher body, a body that has the competence, and we work with them, and we also work with our laboratories who wishes to apply for the accreditation. So we work as a liaison agency, collect the applications, review them, make sure all the documentations are correct, and then we apply on their behalf to the regional accreditation bodies in India or Bangladesh. And then there is a process where they will have to come physically here in the beginning, but later on, auditing aspect can also be taken up by the BSP when we go to the second or third level of the national focal point. Once we have the expertise, we will be permitted to do the auditing on their behalf. Yes. But To begin with, they will come and they will actually visit these applicants, agency, institutions, and they will certify them.
So today you are awarded a certificate as well, a product certificate. If you could also share something about the certificate that you are awarded today.
The award is actually from the National Accreditation Body in India.
Nice.
So therefore,
congratulations with that.
Yes, thank you. But we have to undergo a series of test requirements. In fact, they had to visit about 2 or 3 times to really ensure that we have all the competence required for us to do such tests and issue such certification. So therefore, it's an achievement in the sense that we have passed all the tests.
Yes.
And so, but then we cannot relax because our next audit will be sometime in December. They will come and audit us again. So we cannot relax. We will have to do it as per the requirement. So that's a challenge. To maintain the status quo is a challenge. Once we are accredited, we have to maintain that status.
In the keynote address, he have mentioned about the separation of accreditation from PSP. So what's your take on that, sir?
Well, actually, this was also in our strategic direction, in our long-term plan. That is very much there. In fact, we will begin the process with the national focal point, and we will continue to develop as a national accreditation body. Once we have the full status of a national accreditation body, once we have developed the full competence, then the role of an accreditation body and the standard body will have certain conflict of interest. So in that regard, in the long term, we have no choice but to separate this as a different independent body if we need to remove that conflict of interest. So what he said is very much as per our long-term plan.
Finally, sir, your message to those who are not aware of such powerful tools.
If you are in the business of exporting or importing, I think you need to understand. They need to understand the value of accreditation, because especially if you're exporting something, accreditation is a useful tool which will enable you to take your goods without any hindrances. So in that respect, I think it is in the interest of those people who are in the business of exports to understand this. Similarly, people in the health and environment sector also needs to understand the value of accreditation as a tool to deliver their services much more effectively and efficiently. And with integrity, of course.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you so much for your time. The Bhutan Standards Bureau, along with its relevant stakeholders, observed the World Accreditation Day on 9th June in Thimphu. The theme this year was Accreditation, a global tool to support public policy. The day was celebrated to convey the importance of accreditation and how it can benefit by recognizing the services provided by conformity assessment bodies such as certification, testing, and inspection. Accreditation is one of the 3 pillars of quality infrastructure. The other 2 are the World Standard Day, celebrated on 14th October, and Metrology Day on 28th May. Well, that's all I have for you today, and do join me again next Tuesday for more editions. I'm Tshering Wangmo, and thank you for tuning in.